Okay, when we put the bolster in, you're going to want to reach underneath all the sheets and put the bolster in next to the table. You do not want to put this cold vinyl thing next to their legs. So reach underneath, pick up all of the sheets, slide your hand underneath, lift with your legs, slide the bolster under, aim for the heels, and then set it down. Bolstered. The next drape is called back draping. We have a blanket on. If you don't have a blanket on, it's actually a little bit easier. But what you're going to do is bring the sheet up, bring the blanket down a little bit past where you're going to drape. We're going to drape right here at the PSIS, the posterior superior iliac spine. She has underwear on underneath, so I'm going to do a quick tuck underneath. Bring the drape down, tuck under, go to the other side. Have about 6 inches, this works for me, 6 inches. I bring it up, bring it next to the body, hold on to the bottom sheet. My fingers are going to point down into the table, not directly into her side. So about 6 inches, hold on to the lower one, point down, and tuck right underneath the ASIS. To cover back up, just pull here, pull from this side, bring your sheet up, bring your blanket up. You now have product on your hands. So you're going to treat the blanket as though it has cooties and touch it as little as possible. So bring this up. Bring your sheet over. Straighten everything out. And now we're ready to move on to the leg. Okay, now we're going to do the leg drape. So what you do is you find the greater trochanter. Just for this time, you can pull the sheet up a little bit with your partner. You wouldn't have to do this for a real client because you're going to know where it is. Bring the leg up. Take the palm of your hand and place it at the lower hip. Move the leg back and forth this way. What this is going to do is you're going to feel something in your hand moving like that. That's going to be the greater trochanter of the femur, and you'll feel it. So right here and about right there is where the greater trochanter is. So now that I know it's about here, put this down. I'm going to find the greater trochanter and about foot, come to the edge of the table, pick up my blanket, and I'm going to move the blanket over and up. If your sheet starts going with you, you can pin it with your leg. And I want to get this out of my way. I want to make sure the other leg is covered for warmth. Now I'm going to go greater trochanter, ankle-ish, come down to the edge of the table, pick up my sheet, and I'm going to go across and up. Now you'll notice that this is in a diagonal fashion. That's so that I can find this crisp line. You need to have a nice crisp line. Bring it up. I don't do much more than mid-thigh. Now the procedure, the steps if you will, for doing this would be 1, face the end of the table and press your outside hand down on the bolster. Number 2, gently scoop the leg. What you don't want to do is just come in here and grab and lift. So outside hand, inside hand, lift. Gently move the leg around just a little bit. Now we're going to bounce, and this hand, my inside hand, is going to slide under her knee. So a little bit of mobility. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Now her hand is, or her knee is in my hand. Reach underneath, about ankle-ish. Come up, and I think I'm going to want a little more, so I'm going to reach down, grab a little bit more sheet. And I'm going to move my feet now. I'm going to move my feet a little bit, maybe about a foot's length. And I'm going to lift and lunge, coming straight up. Now I'm going to set the leg back down gently. Come up, hold this to keep my client covered. Get this out of my way. I'm going to slide it up, bring it down my 6 inches, and tuck. And I'm using the backs of my hand. Okay, then to untuck, we come in this way. Know where your tail is. This is called your tail. And we're going to repeat the same thing over. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to bring this back around and over. Slide the leg down. And straighten out the sheet. Okay, to flip your client, what you're going to do is get underneath all of the 3 sheets. You're going to slide your hand in underneath using your legs for leverage, just like you lift a box, and you're going to lift the legs, pull the bolster out, set the legs gently down, slide this in underneath your table. Then you're going to go up and ask your client and let your client know that you're going to have them flip. So you come up, say, okay, now I'm going to have you slide down towards your feet so that your head is fully on the table, and then I'm going to ask you to flip. And bring this shoulder toward me. Adjust your sheets. Find your bolster. Now in supine, which is face up, we're going to go underneath the knees, lift with their legs, slide the bolster under, and then your client will probably bring their legs back down. Go to the head of the table, remove the face cradle, slide it underneath, and we're done. Okay, to drape the leg in supine position, you're going to once again move the blanket out of the way. So we're going to go approximate hip, leg, bring this up, pin the sheet if you need to so it doesn't expose. Bring this up and over to the other side, keeping this leg warm. Here's her hip, approximate ankle-ish area, and you can modify to what works best for you. Come down to the end of the table, get just the top sheet. Same thing. I'm going to move this over across the table as well as up in a little bit of a diagonal fashion. Get that out of my way. Supine, you can face the head of the table. Outside hand, press down on the bolster to create a little pocket in right behind the knee. I'm going to hold on to the knee, and you saw me adjust my feet. Came up forward. I'm going to reach in underneath, bring this to the knee, adjust my feet, lift, and bring this up. Set the knee down, come to the head of the table, get this out of the way, slide it up, and then I'm going to get real close to the underwear, my 6 inches, pull it here, and then tuck underneath. And then we have the supine leg drape. To undrape, same thing in reverse. Pull this out, pull it down, face the head of the table, outside hand, inside hand will lift, bring this out and around and down, being careful not to expose, adjust, fix your sheet, bring your blanket down, and there you go. Okay, to work the abs, we need to do what's called breast drape. So we are going to make sure everything is covered and nothing that shouldn't be is exposed. I have with me a pillowcase. So we are going to set that up here, bring the sheet up, bring the blanket down to approximately ASIS level. ASIS is real easy to find. Take your hands, you'll feel them in the palms of your hands. Just place here, and this is where the ASISs are. Okay, now I'm going to just do a little flip here and put the pillowcase over. I like to do a little extra tug here so that the person knows who is on the table that they are covered. Once your pillowcase is across, reach underneath, hold up here if you need to, and gently slide the lower sheet out from under, making sure, once again, everything is covered. These two like to stick together a little bit, so be extra careful. I'm going to find my ASIS, place my fingers here, bring this down over, and now I'm going to pin from this side as I adjust the sheet, because I don't want to expose anything that doesn't need to be exposed. Tuck this in, come around, adjust here, and tuck in here. Now I am going to gently let the person know they're all covered. I'm going to place my thumbs in the little hollow of the shoulders, bring this down to about axillary level or armpit level. So now we have some pecs. I'm going to use the karate chop and go right in between the arm and the body. I'm going to slide the arm, gently hold the arm, and I'm going to slowly roll and tuck. Notice I have my hand on the elbow and I'm controlling where the arm goes. You want to make sure that you're careful and you don't hit your client in the face with their own arm. Set the arm down. Come over to the other side. Do the same thing. Straighten this out. Karate chop here. Bring the arm up. Gently hold on to the elbow. Bring the arm gently over. Tuck that underneath and let it roll back on. When the client rolls their arm back, it will actually tighten, and you can see this tighten, and they feel secure. Take the bottom. What we do is many times you can just kind of get a little bit here so that you can run it right across the skin, up and under. That's breast drape. Now we can work abs. Okay, when you're finished with abs, you're going to gently bring your client's hand in and cover your client back up. Bring this up. You can bring it up over the breast drape if you'd like. Cover, and then if we were to do an arm, I would karate chop here, bring the arm out over the sheet, and now we're ready to work the arm. The reason the arm is over the sheet is so that I don't get product from the arm onto the blanket. To remove the breast drape, everything is pretty much as it was when you put them into the breast drape, just in reverse. So what we're going to do is bring their arm out, gently roll, and I'll keep this tight and close to the body as we put the arm down. What I like to do is bring this up so that we keep this side covered. I still need this side, so I'm going to remove the arm, bring it up and over, gently rolling, bring this down, and I'm going to hold on to this a little bit. Bring this up, bring your blanket up, and now to remove, you're going to keep them covered. Slowly bring this up, letting the person know that they are covered. Go over the face and then pull straight up in a superior fashion. What you do not want to do is have it in underneath, and then pull down, because you can already see right here, just by pulling down, it's grabbing, and there's a distinct possibility of flashing your client. To undrape the arm, come up, remove the blanket, holding on to the sheet, gently bring it up. You can bring this down. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. You can either A, do like we did with the breast drape, bring the arm up, tuck underneath, and now I can work this arm. Or B, bring this up, bring just the sheet up and underneath. Now if the person is feeling like they're not sure if they're covered, you can just give a little tug here and she can feel it. Come to the other side. And then you can do the same thing on this side. I like to ask my clients sometimes, would you like your arms in or out? If they tell me they want them in, under the blanket, then I would work this side. If they say out, then I would come over to this side, remove this arm, maybe they're too hot, and then work both at the same time. Okay, now we're going to work head, neck, and face. I've got a little bit of the pec area available to me to work. I also have an extra pillowcase because sometimes their hair, pretty as it is in our way. So I'm going to come up, get myself situated on the stool. I'm going to sit down and play a game with myself. 3 times is all I get. So I'm going to come in, slide my hands underneath, and slowly work the hair out from underneath. Ooh, got this in 1. I did good. If you got it in 1, you can go back and double check. Make sure you got all the hair. Make it feel as though this is part of the massage. What you're actually doing is just working to get this hair out of your way and to keep product away from it. Now, to make sure, in case they have short hair that won't move back, or sometimes we have little hairs there, you can take the edge of your pillowcase, slide it underneath. So push down and under, grab the pillowcase, and then slowly bring it up and cover up their hair. Now I can work neck, I can come up into the neck without getting their hair messed up. This is great for businesswomen who have to go back to work. It's great for women that have errands to run. It's great for men sometimes too.